I appreciate you taking the time to join us today. I'm Holly. I am the implementation specialist and hiring consultant for isolved Attract and Hire. I work with clients that come in ready to update their process or streamline what they're doing currently into our solution. That's what I'd really like to share with you today is the benefits of using one system from beginning to end. Obviously, connecting this into your onboarding module and into payroll, the isolved software will really give you that beginning to end experience that's seamless. What we'll take a look at today is number one, the applicant experience. Just like was mentioned here, we really need to increase the amount of applications that we're receiving, but make that easy for us to get through those, reducing our time to hire and making sure that our applicants enjoy that experience so that we continue to get those applications flowing in. So I'd love to walk you through what it looks like for an applicant. Then we'll take a look at the job posting module and how we can help you source those applicants. And from there, really the life cycle of our applications. How can we get through those and collaborate in this space as a team? For those of you that are joining, you may have a completely different process than the others. You may have a HR of one where you wear every hat and you need to be able to do those things quickly, or you may need a space to collaborate with your team so that everybody can have their say in what we're doing and see what they need to. The beauty of this product is that we're able to customize your experience and take the process that you've worked so hard on and put that into here in a very easy manner. All right, so to begin, I'm going to show you the demo site that I've created here. This is my career site example of what we would do for you. So one of the really important parts is making sure that our applicants can find our jobs in an easy manner. Number one, we'll take the website that you have or your idea of a website and create a career site where the jobs will be displayed. We also share these jobs out to various job boards that we'll discuss in a bit to make sure that all the applicants can experience the same application process and you're able to track those in one dashboard, making it very easy to get through them. So here, I've taken the isolved website, installed the graphics and mapping, and created a nice little landing page where all of the jobs that I post within isolved Hire will automatically flow. When I click on a job posting as an applicant coming to your website, I'm able to see the job description or template that you created in the system, easily go through the details that you've shared, and apply to this position on the right. One of the biggest benefits is that it's completely mobile. The applicant experience from beginning to end, whether it be the application or signing offer letters, is mobile. So they can come in here on their iPhone, their mobile device, their tablet, and easily browse these jobs, go ahead and apply, and follow up with you later. Now, also included here towards the bottom, we have some additional options. One being sign up for job alerts. This is a great way for more passive job seekers to leave their name, email, even the type of work they're interested in, and we will send them an email every time a job is posted that matches their search parameters. This is how I got hired for the system over 8 years ago. I know it's a great way to source candidates who are just dipping their toe in the water. So that is included in here as well. Down towards the bottom, you're going to see some social media shares. This includes 180 different ways that applicants or employees can share out our jobs. One of the big pieces of our system is helping you grab those applicants from your employee referrals as well. Recently, my last 6 hires that I completed were all through employee referral, even though I'm a sourcing platform, because sharing this information usually brings in people that match that company culture of those that we've already worked to find. So here we open up all the options to allow them to push, and it creates the ad for them. Anyone who clicks on this is able to apply quickly and land into the dashboard with that sourcing attached. So just a really easy way to get those out. Now, as far as the job descriptions here, you're creating templates in the system. Every job that you create, it builds to your library so that you can easily grab these and go. You'll be able to add in the details of the specific job, allow our team to help you rewrite these ads so that they're more conversational and really get those applications flowing in. As they begin to apply, we want to make that a seamless experience. So one of the big pieces of our system is a 2-stage application. Now, this, for most people, is not a foreign concept. It means that we're taking a smaller amount of information up front And then those that we're interested in, we're able to easily push over our full application with employment history and education and disclosures to be signed before we move into interviews or before we hire. So let's take a look at what that looks like for the applicant. You're seeing right here that we have the piece with the contact information and all of those data pieces. Our system does allow for both text and email. So they have an opportunity here to say if they prefer text, and we would be able to communicate with them through the system that way. We also have them sign any use policies and all of those pieces here, and then drop them into the first stage of the application. Now we're connected to a bunch of job boards. And when I say connected, I mean integrated, like Indeed. Indeed allows applicants to apply quickly to multiple jobs. So when we integrated with them, we were able to push over information that we wanted to collect, but still keep that quick apply process. That is crucial to ensure that you're getting great applicant flow coming from these various job boards. So what you're seeing here is if I apply from the website. If I'm on Indeed, I'm going to be presented with the same questions, but on Indeed's site there. So I can quick apply, utilize the profile I've already built, and save myself a little bit of time. Now here, excuse me, all of these items can be customized. For one, the job questions. You get to design these with every job that you post. We have a lot of options where you just type in the question that you want and select an answer type. You can utilize disqualifiers. So those who are unfavorable or answer unfavorably go into a different bucket for you for later review. Or you can even use filtering, a filterable score, excuse me. That means that we can assign a weight to each answer. That score at the end will allow us to filter through our applicants quickly. There's a lot of different options here and no limit to the amount of questions that you can ask. So this is a great way to get familiar with the applicants as soon as they apply. Next would be your resume section. For those coming from a job board, it pulls in their profile, whether it be LinkedIn, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, or any of those that we're integrated with. They also have the opportunity to upload additional files like cover letters or certifications. And here they could still use that mobile device. So they could take a picture and upload it, or grab a file from their device or from their computer, or even copy and paste or type in text to this bottom box. One benefit of the resume here, it's going to parse into that full application later to save them data time. You know, not as much typing to be completed. We also have the voluntary disclosure section. So for those of you who are collecting EEO information, we're able to input or have that data collected on the front end, gender, race, vets, and disability, or we can turn off any of these sections that are not needed or move them to the second stage. Nice part about collecting it here, it'll go into your reporting for you. So you have that nice EEO1 report, and it'll pull into onboarding for those that you hire so that you can see what they identified and allow them to re-identify at that point. Last but not least is your sourcing. Here we want to identify where they came from. We have a ton of metrics and analytics in the system to help you identify where your applicants are coming from and your best interviews and hires. So it's important that we gather that on both the front end, where they can select like so, and the back end of where they truly came from and the devices that they're using. So we'll collect all of that for you, even your employee referrals, so that you can move forward accordingly. They'll submit this application and receive a thank you message automatically. You control the verbiage of that from your settings. So you can really build these out to be your message, your voice, but we'll make sure it's sent every time someone applies. A lot of my clients use different assessment platforms like selective hiring that we offer in the system to send out cognitive or personality or skills type testing. And we can integrate those into the thank you message here so that those individuals can proceed to the next step without any additional work on your side. So at this point, this applicant now lands in my dashboard for review. I'm able to see them quickly, as well as any other team members that are in that portion of the system, and start to work through those. As I go through those applications, those that I'm interested in, I can invite back to a full application at any point. My team and I will build out your application to match your specifications or what you're currently using, so that all the data points that you're collecting or need will be asked and answered at whatever stage you would like. So with that being said, the career site is really the space for us to gather those applications as well as the different job boards that we're pushing out to. And from there, we can now go into our job posting area and take a look there as well. Jump over here for us and take a look at Attract and Hire. All right, so this is the inside of isolved Attract and Hire. I'm logged in as an admin right now, so I have full access to everything within the system. One benefit of the system is that we have unlimited amounts of users. So for those of you who have a team to collaborate with, or maybe those who should take some part in this recruiting process, we can have them with access to just what they need. For example, managers, you can give them access to just job listings or specific departments, so they're only seeing some of the applications, or even invite assigned users to specific numbers of applications so that they can view those in the system and receive notifications. For those admins, we have that ability to start right here on the job posting dashboard and build out our positions. Now, for me personally, I start over with the job questions section. I think this is one of the most crucial pieces of the system because our job is to increase your applicant flow. We don't want that to become cumbersome. So here we can build out sets of questions for each job that we post and have those be directed to the skills of the position or even the company culture. Like I mentioned, you can simply type in what you want to ask here, select any of the answer types from text to drop-down menus, and then you can assign scoring or even disqualifiers so that you can filter through those candidates quickly. These sets will be saved in here for you. You can reuse them for other positions. You can even copy them and make adjustments without affecting the original so that you don't have to start from scratch. In there, we also have the job template section. This is your library of jobs. You can reference this to grab jobs and post them quickly. You can build out the possible positions that you'll have in the future so that you don't have to start from scratch. And you can even copy these and make adjustments at any time. The end result is that we want to post this job out. So starting here on the job listings dashboard, we are allowed to have an unlimited amount of positions open at any time. We can simply click the new job listing button to either grab a template and go, or new job template to begin building a fresh one that will be saved as we proceed. One of the big issues that we find when we're recruiting all the time is that our jobs will age on the different job boards. So we typically will stick to a start and end date within a 60-day range to give good visibility. But when it comes time to repost that, it shouldn't be a cumbersome process. So under the action button here, I have the ability to hit copy a job listing, and this will grab all of my settings from the prior time I posted this and allow me to repost in less than 30 seconds. Very easy feature. It makes it nice to post these out. Now, if I go ahead and hit edit, I just want to open one of these up to show us. There's a lot of different features that are included in the system, and I like to really guide this to your process. So when we go through implementation, we would look at what you need, make sure that we get all those features turned on for you so that you can utilize them in here. Things like internal IDs, where you can identify the position by numbering sets, or even requisitions, where you can have approvals prior to posting. Within the specifics of the job, you're seeing here, I have a title that's going to go out to the job boards, and I have a description. The description that we're seeing in front of us is very typical of what we would see daily. A summary of the position. Usually there's a laundry list of hostage negotiation requirements for the job, and even the skills and qualifications. These are a good way to go forward, but if you would like a better, we do have a job ad rewrite team that can help us have more of a company culture, day in the life type of advertisement that is more conversational. We found fantastic results with rewriting these ads of an increase of at least 50% in our applications because we keep the attention of the applicant, and that's really crucial. We want to keep them engaged so they read through our ad, and then those that are applying tend to not only increase the number of people, but the quality of those individuals that are applying. So that will be offered in the system as well. You also have the opportunity to link your legal job descriptions to the bottom of the ad so that those individuals can click and read through that as well. Down towards the bottom, we get into more specifics about the position. When do we want this posted and when do we want it taken down? My team will do the posting for you once you select the places you'd like to go. So you can indicate to them when that is supposed to happen. You can make adjustments to this, making it shorter or longer at any time and adjusting that for my posting team. All of the pay information and benefits is completely optional. We'll help you build out your employment types and even your department list or your hierarchy, the way that you would post your positions for user allocation and for reporting purposes. A little bit further down, we have things like Indeed remote type, where we work to help you identify certain remote options, different classifications, or even the job type here. You have the ability to post both internally to your employees and externally at the same time, or start one way and move another. This makes it nice because all of our candidates, including our employees, can apply to the same pool, and we can see clearly who's internal, excuse me, who's external, and be able to give them a different application that's maybe more pared down or specific to manager roles and things like that. You can decide who gets notifications by job. So if you want to be notified every time someone applies, you put your name in this box. You can assign that to other admins or managers that have access to this role, or even groups of people that should be notified when someone applies. You decide by the job. So those that aren't as crucial, or maybe if you don't want alerts, you can always leave that blank here. Down towards the bottom, job location. We're also connected to Google Jobs. One way that we help with that visibility is by utilizing Google Places to build out our locations. By selecting Add New, I can simply type in an address like so. It pulls it up for me so that I can add that in and save it for future use. Here we have a test section. This allows for connection to tests that you may want to automate. Like I mentioned before, the thank you message can have a different message to connect them to the next step. So if that is an assessment or a skills test or skills survey, something that you might be utilizing, we can help you push that out here by the job. And then down at the bottom, the employee referral portal. Like I mentioned before, my last 6 hires were employee referrals, and that's no joke. I find that my employees, when they share these out, they tend to bring people in that match my company culture. So by doing this simple check mark here to say that I want to share this with my employees, they will receive an email on Monday afternoons with all available jobs, and they can share directly from that email. They'll have all the same options that we do, like Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter, email, however they want to share that. And when they do, that link is specific to that employee. So anyone who touches that or views it is going to be linked to that employee. As they apply, the employee can clearly see that that person applied, and you can as well, right in the sourcing. So it's a very easy way to track that. And if you have any type of incentive program, you can input the incentive here where the employees can see that. And when they actually have someone who applies and is hired, that'll be tracked in your payout report in the system. So it's a very easy way to stay on top of those payouts as well. Now on the next page, we're going to get into where is this posted. One of the biggest pieces of our system is our sourcing platform. Our goal is to get you applicants that work for your jobs and really increase the numbers in your traffic. So you'll see here that it starts with social media. This is a great way for you as the person posting or your poster to be able to share in groups that they've garnered, whether it be their own network or local job groups like this Colorado Jobs, Twitter, or even LinkedIn to their local, like their HR groups or things that they have found through there. Anyone who clicks on these is driven right to the apply now so that they can apply to the job, but it's a great way to utilize your network to help spread the word. On the job board push section, this is where we get into job boards specifically. I'm going to scroll to the bottom first. Starting down here, these are the automated boards that are included on our XML feed. This is refreshed twice a day. So we are posting all of your jobs to Indeed, all the way through to ZipRecruiter Organic down here at the bottom. There's a lot of job boards on here, some that you may not have heard of in the past. We utilize these to help boost our visibility to all the larger boards as well. We're the only applicant tracking system that's connected with Facebook Jobs at this time, which means applicants that find this on the Facebook job ticker can apply with their resume in the job screening questions without ever leaving Facebook. It's been a really great avenue for us as well. We'll post to LinkedIn, even to the LinkedIn company jobs tab if you have a LinkedIn company page. This makes it really easy for you to select at once all of these boards. They're included and free, and we'll post those out directly for you. Up here in the top section, this would be considered your favorites. Mine's a little bit all over the place. I have everything from zoos and aquariums to the Utah State Workforce, but we have literally thousands of job boards for you to browse through. These could be things like diversity boards, universities, state workforce boards, or even specific industry type job boards. You can use those that you're familiar with or have a connection to. For example, Career Builder. This is a great one to kind of explain. If you went to Career Builder today, it would cost you $369 to post one ad for 30 days. We've negotiated a little bit of pricing with them to where it's $239 for a 30-day posting. I could select this, hit submit, pay $239. My job posting team would go out and manually post that job for us. If I have a contract with Career Builder, maybe I get 10 jobs for $1,000. I can enter the credentials and the details up into this top section here. When I select it, my team will then go and post that utilizing my credentials, and I continue to pay Career Builder. So it's whatever is the cheapest for you, whatever makes the most sense, or utilizing the free job boards that have no cost here, or just the free ones at the bottom that are automated. You really get to design the experience for each job that you post. That designation happens here under the job board favorites. I can hit new, select an area, like let's go California, and start looking. This is just the top 50 in alphabetical order. Lots of universities in California, definitely a lot of email feeds and things like that. Or I can get more specific over here and look at category type like diversities. I can take a look at veterans. And for those of you who may have an affirmative action plan, there's great options in here that are completely free that will help satisfy that affirmative action plan. Lots of great ways to push out your jobs to increase your traffic and help with compliance as well. So with that, the job posting piece is pretty solid. Excuse me, we have that requisitions where we can get approvals, and then the ways to post our jobs out to multiple job boards and begin getting those applicants coming into the system. Now, one thing I want to mention before we get into applicants, I want to look at the reports section a little bit. Reports, they can be a love-hate relationship. I personally really like them because I have a way for the data to work for me. They can be a bit daunting. So we've tried to break it down into reports that are standard that everyone needs to use at some point or another, like your sourcing, your time to fill, of course, your EEO data, including your veteran and disabled percentages. And then down towards the bottom, getting into more feature-specific reports or detailed reports like affirmative action, or even user reports so we can keep a track of those extra users that we may have in the system here. Now, each of these allow you to export as a CSV or filter on the screen, and you can bookmark these reports for ease of use so that they show up in your bookmark button here. In addition to this, we also have dashboards with all your conversion analytics and things that you can browse through quickly, like your sourcing information, and a report builder. This allows you to pull reports that are query-based, so I can grab any data set that, and really any question we ask in the system, even like our job questions or additional questions, and begin building out these reports so that we can quickly run them here at any time. We'll also track your analytics when it comes to application exits or our visitor traffic. All of the things that we need for Google Analytics is included in here as well. With the reports in mind, what drives all of this is the work that we do on our applicant dashboard. So let's get into the applicant lifecycle and how that works for our users and for the applicants. So in my dashboard here, again, I'm logged in as an admin. So I have full access to every piece, all of my departments, my job listings, the different statuses or workflow items that I've created. and even tags or custom filters that I would like to build in the system. One big piece of this is the statuses. That controls our time to fill. It controls some workflows, really gives us an idea of where each of the applicants are in the system. So coming over here on the right, I can see the applicant, all the tags, the date that they applied, and their status dropdown. This allows me to move them through different phases, and this is completely customizable. So the process that you follow can be put in here step by step, including emails that can be sent from different stages, and even the reasons that we don't hire. So as folks reapply, we can quickly see in our pool where we left off and move forward accordingly. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the first person here, which is Sam. When I click on Sam's name, it opens the profile so I can see a full view of everything that's been included from that first stage of the application. I also have that same filter ability that was available on the dashboard here on the left. So I can sort through this in any way. I can quickly review this individual and click to the next. And I can also minimize it out of my way so that I have a full view of this person's profile. Up at the top, I have all of their contact information. I also have a 5-star rating that can be disabled if it's not used. So here, this allows users that have access to this applicant to put in a subjective star rating, and that will produce an average that I can see here, as well as on a report and as a filter. Below that, I have the job for which they applied. I can hover over to see any details about the job and where they applied from, including the device that they used. Within the body of the application, I have the resume that this individual used from the job board or from the website. I can preview that to see it, how it was uploaded and read through there. Or below, I have a text resume version, so this allows for quick search up here in the search bar using our resume search. I also have the job questions that they answered. Here I was utilizing some scoring, so I can see the scores, I can see the answers. If they were unfavorable, there would be red flags next to those as well. Back up to the top, on your right, you have your timeline. This tracks every movement. So anytime someone views statuses, emails, notes, it's all here for you to review at any time and pull open those items as needed. If this individual applies to another application, whether it be an additional job or has applied with us in the past, we're going to see those applications here with all of their tags, statuses, dispositions, notes, so that we can browse through that without even going into the full application. Above that, we have our application tags. This allows the system to create tags for you as you move through processes, like adding notes or inviting them to the full application. Even assessments or background checks, all of that is tagged here for you so that you can hover here or in the dashboard and see those items. You can also build out your own tags. I personally use these more as like a recruiter skill set. I'll start typing something in, it'll pull it up for me. I can either select it or just type enough characters and it will add it to this list for me. These are searchable as well as filters. So you can really get creative with these. They could be processes, they could be skill sets, they could even be things like do not hire, just items that we want to stand out quickly. Above that, we have our application status. As I mentioned, these are to flow through or the life cycle of the applicant. For me, as I'm reviewing someone, I'll look over their initial application and mark them as reviewed or not qualified and move to the next individual. That allows me to then grab everyone who is not qualified and send them all a thanks but no thanks at one time. It's a very quick and easy mass feature, but it also indicates to me where I'm at. So I could filter and go through those that I've left voicemails for and circle back around or see what stage of the process we're in. Above there, we have a follow feature where we can follow applicants to get additional notifications or our send message button. This is our two-way communication inbox. The system allows for text and email. Those individuals who are applying are deciding if they want text messages up front so that we have that option for those who have said that that's preferred. You can build different templates into the system from your settings section. Things like the thank you email that's automatically sent will already be in here. Of course, things like a rejection, You can see that there's autofill options in here so that it's putting in the information and saving me the time of typing, or even custom templates that you would like to utilize. You can even type and hit send and just type it out on the fly. The benefit here is that when this communication goes out to the applicant and they reply, that communication will come back into the system and to your work email. So you can respond from either spot, and it's going to track it through the system and back to the applicant in their original requested communication. We also have the ability to leave notes. This could be a simple tag to another user to say, hey, take a look at this applicant. Or this could be something bigger like your phone screening notes or things that you found during the interview that you would like to include about this candidate. Those items will be saved here. Any tags will send an email to the individuals tagged so that they can review that information and link right back to the application. Under the Actions button here, this is our additional items as we begin to proceed. Like I mentioned, I really like the two-stage application process. It increases our applicant traffic by over 75%, and we get more completed applications, full applications, than we would see if we try to push a full one up front. So one of the biggest pieces for me is once I get to a point where I've scheduled an interview with someone or at least had a conversation, I like to invite them to the full application. That'll send them a request letting them know that in order to be considered further, we'd like the following, and drops them into your full application. Then we can get your disclosures and all the other documents that you may need signed electronically, and we can get their employment history and references and pieces like that in here as well. As I send these, it's going to create a tag for me so I can quickly see that that's been done, and I can continue to move through my applicants here on the left. Let's take a look at Walter Cronkite. He has completed a full application for us. So we sent him that app invite. He completed it, which sent me a notification. Now I can review the information that he completed. We have our employment history, our education. Of course, we still have that resume in there. And then references. For those of you that check references, we even have a reference verification feature that's included with the system where you can build out surveys to be sent to these references via email, or you could even complete it while on the phone with them. That makes it really easy to answer the questions. You can have scoring and flags here as well. And if they complete it via email, it logs their IP address and sends those results right back into the system for you. Now, continuing to move forward with Walter here, maybe I'm ready to schedule an interview for this individual. So here in my statuses on the right, I can come in and say interview scheduled. That can send out an email with a confirmation or something along those lines. Or under the Actions button, you can use the Chronify feature. This connects to Apple, Gmail, Outlook, Office 365, any of those calendaring systems that you may use. Each user can connect to their own calendar of choosing. And now I'm able to come in and put in the location, the details, even add additional users to this, like additional interviewers, excuse me. And it's going to pull all of our calendars together so that I can see the times that were available below. I can edit the days, the times that I'm showing, excuse me, so that it really tailors it to the times that I'm looking for as I'm talking to the candidate. And then I can select a time. When I do this, it's going to send invites to all of the interviewers and to the candidate so that they can see that in their calendar and in their email. Or I can send a booking form. This allows you to really cut back on the back and forth. I can send this over to the candidate with the times that we're available or we're looking to fill. They're able to select a day and time that works for them. And now it's going to input that on the calendars of the interviewers and that candidate. This makes it really easy for them. It also makes it easy for you because it's live. So if I add something to my calendar, that time will no longer show. If someone else picks a time before this individual, those times don't show either. So it really creates a nice flow, and in the system, you'll be able to track those interviews and see them scheduled right here, and even when they're completed. Now, once those interviews are done, if we have any interview guides, evaluation forms, ratings, anything that we'd like to capture in the system, you do have HR data surveys at your disposal. This allows you to build out those different evaluation forms and allow each user who has access to this applicant to fill in that information. Just like the reference verification surveys, these can have scoring, they can have flags, different ways that you can give yourself a total or an average score so you can get through these quickly. If you prefer to just leave those notes, you can do that under the add note, or you could even attach a document if it's something separate that's done outside of the system. Okay. Moving to the next stage. Let's say Walter is ready to receive an offer. That can be done in the system as well. Looking to the left here, we have what I call the e-form feature. This allows for offer letters, contracts, NDAs, really any document that requires an approval process or a signature, an electronic signature from the applicant to be completed. In this instance, I want to send Walter my contingency offer letter. I would select it from the drop-down and it pops open like so. The variables of that offer letter that you would typically edit before sending become questions that you answer. So it could be salary, salary types, different compensation packages, benefits packages, things that it's contingent upon. All of these questions, it can be as long or as simple as you need it to be. You can have a list of approvers in here as well. So I could have an approval chain of multiple approvers where once I hit view, preview, and confirm, I can have this sent out to those approvers. Now the document's still live at this point. Before I hit send, I can come in here and make adjustments. Mine is quite ugly, but yours can be just like an offer letter with logo at the top, different fonts and formats, with the main goal being that it's filling those information into the appropriate places, and I can make edits on the fly if needed. Once I hit send, that's going to automate to the first approver, allowing them to approve or reject, and it will move forward or backward accordingly. Once going out to the applicant, they can now accept or decline from their mobile device or their computer. They'll be able to sign this right on their mobile device with their finger. It's going to collect the print signature, the wet signature, the time and date stamp, and the IP address of that individual, making it a legal e-signed document. You can perform this as many times as needed, sending out different documents to be signed prior to moving on to your next steps. We do have an integrated solution called Pro Screening that is in our system and ready for you to utilize for your background checks. I'm going to take a look at Sarah Jones here because I've sent one through for her. So what this means is we're able to select a background check option or a package that I've built for you. That would then send the authorizations and consent forms directly to the applicant in an encrypted system via email and text. That really speeds up the process of getting those signed. Once they click on the link, it'll take them into the different consent forms and even verifies where they're working and where they live so we can get them appropriate city and state notices, and pulls in the information from the application to autofill into the background check request. From there, it begins running on the screen for you. As soon as they've signed, that's going to show up here. You can even click a progress report to see what the investigator is doing, or if there's any requests that are still outstanding, like county checks. Once complete, you'll receive a notification so that you can get in here, view your alerts, view and print that background check report, and go through that piece. This is a really easy way to keep it all in one system, but if you have a different background check provider that you prefer to use, you can continue to do so and track that through the statuses here. We just wouldn't be able to send out the authorizations since it collects social and date of birth in those pieces. That would have to be done outside of the system. Once we've got that piece done, our background check is completed, we can now initiate onboarding. This is one of the best pieces because it connects us right to isolved so that our onboarding piece can kick off and we can get them into payroll quickly. We've done a lot of work in here. We've collected a lot of documents and data, and we want to make sure that that moves over into their employee profile as well. So I can come right here into the isolved piece and hit start process. This is now calling back the setup that you have from Vision that was created in isolved with your onboarding templates, your organizational values, and all of your FEINs. If you have multiple legal companies, you'll be able to see those here and then start a new hire process. Or if you have any employees who have been terminated and are eligible for rehire, you can go through this process here even re-verifying the I-9 process. Once we hit start, it's going to call back that onboarding template for us and the work locations. So we can select the appropriate one for this individual. Again, these are all things we'd manually have to do within isolved if we were just going through the onboarding platform. We'd be selecting these items, whether it be up front or during the quick hire wizard. So we're just saving some steps for ourselves going forward. Any additional organizational values that you have built, like divisions, managers, supervisors, all of those can be selected in here. There's a lot of different drop downs that are built by the Vision team. Those would be available for you to select. One of those is your job titles. The job titles that you have built into isolved would show here, so you can select. And then, of course, enter the start date for this individual here. Now, down towards the bottom, it's going to tell us what items are flowing over. So we have our documents, anything that's been attached by the applicant or by the users, their resume, their offer letters, anything else that was signed in the e-forms, employment history, education, EEO information, and of course that contact info. Once I hit send, it's going to mark them as hired in the system for me. It's going to place them in my pending EE dashboard within isolved and send out that new hire welcome email that kicks off our onboarding template. So they can now create their profile and fill out their onboarding documents. Now they'll be ready to hire in the system, and the items that we collected here will go into their employee document center under other. It really does create a full workflow for you. Again, each of these stages or steps that we go through are noted under our application tags, and as they're completed, we'll receive a check mark next to them so that we can see that from our dashboard preview. Now, there are a lot of things in here that we could continue to look at, different features and sets for specifics, but the best part is all of these features are included in the system and really easy to use.